I would say if you're looking to remortgage at the moment, or if you're buying a house and looking to take out a mortgage, wait as long as you can.
Right.
Because there's a growing sense that inflation's coming down, and that means expectations of where interest rates are going to peak are coming down. And even though rates may go up next month, I think they probably will, mortgage rates are coming down. How can that be right? Well, let me try and explain. So I've got some numbers here that we can have a look at, and radio listeners can bear with me. So we know that the Bank of England's interest rate is currently 5.25%. But it's set to peak, if you look at the money markets now, which the mortgage companies follow too, it's set to peak at 5.75. Just a month ago, the markets thought that rates would peak at 6.75, a huge difference. Now it's 5.75. Why? Because inflation's come down from 8.7% in May to 7.9% in June, and we get the July number next Wednesday, which I think, by the way, will start with a 6.
That'd be great.
You heard it here first.
Mystic Liam.
So all of that is pushing down where the markets think interest rates is going to go, which means it's pushing down what the mortgage companies pay for the money, which pushes down what they then charge us for the money. Now, we know the average 2-year fixed mortgage rate across all loans to value, across all durations, the average is 6.84%. It's always quite a lot higher than the Bank of England's base rate, of course. That's how the mortgage companies make their money. But Nationwide and TSB, two of the sort of softer, kinder lenders, if you want, former mutuals, they have announced a 0.55% cut to their standard variable rate as of today. And that's really, really significant, because almost no one thinks that the Bank of England isn't going to put interest rates up a bit more. But what those mortgage companies are saying is that over a 2-year period, they think rates are going to be coming down and coming down considerably. So over that 2-year envelope, they can cut their overall rate. Good news for home buyers.
I have so many questions for you. Sorry, Martin, I know you're about to jump in there.
No,
I have so many questions. The Bank of England was saying that rates might not come down for the next 2-3 years. Is that still the case? And is inflation dropping, as you say, because of the rate rises, or is it something else?
Inflation's dropping for all kinds of reasons, because of what we call base effects. So this time last year, energy was much more expensive. We're about to see the energy price cap for households come down. We're also seeing cheaper raw materials, timber, steel, freight charges, and so on. And the economy is finally, having spluttered since lockdown ended, it's finally getting into gear, and the supply side is starting to respond. Look, the Bank of England say a lot of things. They have to speak out of both sides of their mouth at the same time, because they're speaking to different audiences. If the governor of the Bank of England in that press conference last week, when they raised interest rates and said, you know what, the next move in rates is down, what would happen? There'd then be a big sell-off of sterling, OK? And sterling, that cheaper sterling, would then mean more expensive imports, which would push up inflation. So they can never say things explicitly. They have to just hint and bob and weave. Now, I've been very critical of the Bank of England. They were far too slow to realise that there was big inflation. They were far too slow to start raising rates in the first place at the end of 2021. I now think they're far too slow to stop raising rates. They should have stopped raising rates, in my view, in March. But that's not how they think. I think there will be at least one more rate rise. But despite that one more rate rise, the mortgage companies are now saying we see lower interest rates on the horizon. Even if interest rates stay flat for a while, we see them coming down within that 2-year envelope. We're going to charge you a little bit less for your mortgage. So signs of some competition and some pro-consumer moves in the mortgage market. It's about time.